All right, guys, welcome back in the shop. So I know it's been a hot minute since done anything in the shop and recorded it for you guys, so I'll try to do my best to catch y'all up. I guess the last video you guys saw was the recap from the King of the Streets event. Since then, Junkyard Box has been back to the track. They decided to take the 24s off the back and put some 15-inch slicks, and the car performed amazing. Picked the front tires up, as you saw in the video earlier. And that was I guess it'd be the second event that the car has ever been raced in. And it ended up winning the street bracket class out at Northeast Dragway. So that was pretty neat that the car is putting in work already. As I have always said, surround yourself with winners and you'll become another one to add to the group. So it's been a great experience messing with that car, and there's still a bunch of stuff in the works for it. As of right now, as you can see in the background, we've got Tim's truck back in here. So at Truck Wars, he had a transmission issue. Ended up it busted the case and a bunch of other mess. He had done some experimental stuff in the trans to, just kind of see, R&D, stuff like that. Well, it didn't work out. So anyways, we have gone back to square one, went back to what we know works. It's got a new trans in it, and we've got to finish buttoning that up. And then also, we've got Brandon's truck back here in the background. So this truck has had a good bit of a makeover over the last few weeks. We kind of didn't do the best job with planning because it ended up following right around Truck Wars, UCC, all the other stuff where everybody was really busy and we didn't have any time to work on it right then. So the truck kind of got tore apart and it took us a little bit to get back to it. But over the last week, we've really been knocking stuff out, and here's kind of where we're at. So we went ahead and reloomed the harness on it and got it pretty cleaned up as far as the wiring goes. We swapped out, it had a 366, put a 472 on it. Made a 5-inch intake for it. Also, we remade the WC Fab intercooler piping. You can see it's got a little bit of modification down there. And then also, if you can see without the light in here, we made a 2-piece full 4-inch downpipe for this thing. And it fits amazing. It's tight, as you can tell, but it's not touching anywhere. It's got clearance and doesn't vibrate or rattle or anything like that. It actually turned out really, really nice. So, yeah, the truck's coming along. We did get the first fire on it the other night, and I didn't get that on video. But anyways, tonight we are hoping to have this thing pretty wrapped up. So we're following suit with how we do on the Cummins stuff. We've pulled the wiper cowl off. The plan is he's got the amp step wiring we're going to modify to run up in the wiper cowl. Also some gauge wiring that we're going to run through there and get all that cleaned up and back together. We've got a coolant tank we've made up, or I guess we bought, but we modified to get made and put over here. And yeah, anyways, it's coming along. As I've said before, if you guys don't really know, this truck's got like a 6-inch lift on it. It's been cranked all the way down, so it's somewhere around 3 to 4 inches. It's on 35s. It's got a 72 with the kit that we've kind of modified here in-house. And it's got a John Griffith built Allison in it and dual pumps. It's a PPE dual fueler kit and stock injectors, lift pump. So nothing spectacular, but we're doing some stuff Brandon's been wanting to do for a long time, and we finally got him over here and been knocking it out. So anyways, hopefully we'll get it driven out of here tonight, but we'll try to get some videos going forward tonight and get some footage for you guys.
Dude, that Toyota turned out pretty cool.
The one for your dad?
there on the down plate. You see it smoldering?
No, let's see a smoke. Starting off on the right foot.
Yes, sir.
It's never a good project around here unless it catches on fire at least once.
I think it's a piece of that insulation off the firewall.
Hear that, kids? Take that shit off.
Take care of it.
No, that's deer part. We ain't got no Aquafina around here. Yeah, that's what happens when you run the freaking insulation that everybody says, oh, you need to keep it. No.
Especially that guy on Facebook last week that started arguing with us.
All right, everybody. So as per what seems to be the norm, I really slacked on videos yet again, but figured I'd just go ahead and give you an update as to where we are and where we wrapped up some stuff this week, because going into this next week, we're moving on to some other project stuff, and I didn't want to, you know, have an odd transition here or whatever. So anyways, we'll go ahead and talk about what we finished up as the week went on. As you can see, Tim's truck back here is out of the shop, running and driving. Still got a couple little bugs we're trying to figure out on it, but it is running and driving now. So doing a little bit of research, doing a little talking, we're gonna figure out what the deal is, and we'll have it back out to the track here very shortly. Then the other thing is, as you can see, Brandon's truck is back out and running and driving now. I don't think I actually got any videos driving the truck, and I'll get into why in just a minute, but we'll run over real quick where we're at with the truck. Anyways, as I had said, the truck did a little bit of a transformation. We changed a bunch of stuff on it. Originally, it had a 5-blade 366, and tuning from, at the time it was GDP. They tuned this truck years and years ago, back before it was such a big deal. Now, unfortunately, we couldn't deal with those guys anymore because of all the regulations. So we're going through another company for tuning, and it's unfortunate that we can't give them a shout out because the tuning is freaking amazing. The truck is running super clean. It spools this 472 that we stepped up to really good. It's just all around a really good setup, and definitely was a overall upgrade between the tuning and turbo itself. So anyways, we'll show you real quick where we're at under the hood. Don't judge too bad yet because we still have a lot of powder and a couple little loose ends to button up. But anyways, this is where we are at now. We've got, that's the 5-inch intake that we fabricated here in house. Nathan fitted that up, and we got you can't really see it here, but the 4-inch downpipe is in there tucked away nice. We've got the crankcase vents running to it, just like we've been doing on all the Cummins stuff. You can't really see them from here either. We'll go over that later on. As you can see, this is a coolant sensor that we got. I think Merchant Automotive might have made that. But we got that because we went to a different coolant tank. This is one of the Amazon specials like we run on all our Cummins, except this is the 2-liter option instead of the 1-liter. We did have to weld a bung here for the factory coolant line to tie into, and then move to fit in here. We've got to get a weld-in bung for that coolant sensor, and we'll be putting it down towards the bottom on the back side of this. But for now, it's just zip tied up so he doesn't have a light, and we could test drive the truck. So everything with the coolant side of things went great. Like I said, turbo ran and spooled great. Charging system, as you can see, we redid a bunch of the wiring. Charging system's working great. We ran it to a distribution block down on the frame. And of course, you're not gonna be able to see a picture, but it's under the driver's door to the inside of the frame, up kind of by the front yoke for the front drive shaft. And then for the negatives. So when we drove the truck definitely feels good. It feels, Brandon thinks it's a little faster. In my opinion, it's about the same, maybe just a hair faster. But overall, it was like a smoother power band. It felt really good. But to me, for the tunes and the charger that it has on it, it felt a little bit on the weak side. And then we stopped and tried to spool the truck up just from a standstill, and we could only get it to like 4 pounds. It wasn't, even if you flat footed, it would not smoke like at all. It was barely a haze, which smoke isn't a big deal, but I feel like it should have been choking out some. And we weren't getting any fuel. Then we noticed we had a check engine light. We pulled it up, had a low rail pressure code. We got back, and this is what we found. So this truck, we've come to determine that it does not like having any upgrades done to it. Ever since we put the dual pump kit on it, it's a PPE kit, which is similar to what we run on all the Cummins ones. And those kits are great. This truck, I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if it's a Duramax thing, if it's on PPE's end, if it's just this truck. But anyways, we put the kit on, and we had fitment issues. The pulley wasn't aligned how it needed to be. We had to remachine the bracket a couple times and modify that. Had to shim the pump. A bunch of crap. At one point, it ended up shredding the belt. A piece of the belt went into the seals and tore the seals out of the pump. It's been a freaking nightmare. But we had all of those issues fixed. And when we brought the truck in the shop, he had complained of a little bit of a smell of a fuel leak. So we looked around, we didn't see anything. Well, after the test drive, we found where the leak was coming from. So we're not sure if it's because of the new tunes demanding higher pressure than what it was originally doing, or if just sitting for a little bit and then going out and beating on it, it caused the issue to show its head. But what we found is his CP3 on the dual pump kit, right in the back casing. See if I can show you here. Right in here is leaking right at that seal. So anyways, there's a couple ideas being tossed around on how to fix it, but I don't know, we'll see where we go. Brandon, and rightfully so, has pretty much been fed up with the dual pumps. Ever since he did that to this truck, he's had nothing but issues. So he wants to go back to a single pump. It's nothing against dual pump kits. I've got one on my truck and had one on my last truck. Never had an issue, but for some reason this has plagued him ever since we did it. So one idea that's being tossed around is that we may go ahead and jump up to a big stroker pump. There's plans for injectors later on down the line, so we can go ahead and throw a pump on it now. We'll get rid of the dual pump kit, and he'll be on his way. The dual pump kit, like I said, now the alignment on it and everything is fine. We're going to fix that seal and should be able to get the truck running until he decides to pull the trigger. But for now, that's kind of where he stands and what we're going to be doing moving forward. Right now, the truck is here. The truck's down, waiting on, a decision on what we're going to do about the pump. But it is running and driving. And I think once we get this figured out, the truck's going to be fun and he'll be happy with it. There is a couple other things going forward. One thing is, you can see the truck is lifted as I showed before. It's a 6-inch zone lift that's been turned down to somewhere in the neighborhood of 4 inches. The truck runs and drives and rides really good, but he wants to put it back down to stock height. So we're going to be doing that soon, I believe. And then also, he's got the Flight Fab traction bars, they look really great, but in my opinion, something like a set of cow tracks would perform better. For racing purposes. They're lighter. They actually apply traction as opposed to preventing wheel hop, or axle wrap, I should say. So maybe making that switch too, but we'll kind of just play it by ear. We'll see where we end up. Anyways, I know that was a little bit wordy. I just kind of wanted to cover what's going on with that because right now it's on hold. Didn't want to leave a cliffhanger because this week we have another truck coming in, starting another project, and wanted to get you guys to understand what was going on with it. But starting this week, as you saw, and you can see the reflection in my glasses, we got a 2nd-gen project here. This is a truck we're helping one of our buddies. His name is Alex. This truck is essentially stock. It's got a couple small, I guess you'd say, tasteful mods done to it, but pretty much stock. And it's going to go from mild to wild extremely quick. So I don't know exactly where this thing's going to land. I don't know what times it's going to run, but I do know that it's going to be extremely rowdy. So anyways, that's going to pretty much do us for this week. As I said, next time we're in the shop, we'll be messing with this. We'll introduce you to Alex. He's a freaking trip. He's a blast to be around. So should make for an interesting few weeks. We do, as I said, we went ahead and pulled Brandon's truck out. The reason we did that, we had a deadline in our head because we wanted to go ahead and get started on this one. So this truck, we also have a deadline on when we want to have it done. We've got somewhere around 3 to 4 weeks that we want to have everything done. So it's gonna be a little bit of a crunch. We're still waiting on some parts for it, but we've already got one whole corner of the shop slammed full of parts for this truck. So anyways, we'll go ahead and cut it off there. I'll quit rambling. But like I said, just wanted to fill you guys in where we're at and what's going on. And next time you see us, we'll be tearing some more crap apart. So anyways, thank you guys for watching and all the support as always. And we will see y'all next time.